We welcome you to Radio Row. Eagles insider Dave Spadaro with Shaun O'Hara, former offensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns, but we know him as a member of the New York Giants, Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion. Shaun, how you doing?
I'm great.
How is this? What is the Super Bowl? What's a player thinking on a Wednesday during a longest week of your life?
Well, if you're playing in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
you know the hard thing is everybody says, "Hey, just treat it like any other week." It's not. It's you're so excited. I think the hardest thing is you don't even realize how emotionally drained you are, and just because everything is so new, you're so excited. So pacing yourself, for the week is always tough. But it's just, I remember being just so honored and just saying, "Wow, you know what? Obviously, I want to win the game, but being here, getting to experience the Super Bowl." There's two things that every player in the NFL should get to experience: Super Bowl week as a player and a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Those are two of the coolest things that you can get to do. And, you really just you kind of realize, man, it really puts you on the map as a team, as an organization, as a player. People they all of a sudden realize who you are. As an offensive lineman,
Sure.
I could walk through Garden State Plaza Mall and nobody knew me. But after the Super Bowl, things kind of changed. It was a little different. But I think as a player, you're looking at it and saying, all right, I want to just kind of keep my same routine. If I did the cold tub on Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays, did my massages, you want to make sure you're taking care of your body the same way, because people forget this is week 20.
Yeah.
As a player, like you played a lot of football up to this point.
Did that prepare you at all for NFL Network, for Sirius XM Radio, your post-playing career days in the media?
I don't know. I still feel like I'm trying to prepare for this stuff. I always enjoyed talking the game, kind of being around. I think being in New York certainly helped. You get a lot more opportunities to talk football, do radio, do television. Something I always enjoyed. I love football. It's kind of something that I couldn't see myself not being around it and not being involved in some way, shape, or form. But I love breaking down film. I know you do the same thing. It's really kind of cool. I feel like every Monday during the season is like Christmas. You get to come down, you unwrap some presents. You don't always know what's underneath that wrapping paper when you turn on the film.
Right.
You might see something really cool. You might see something really awful.
And what you see when you watch the Eagles play this year is an offensive line and a defensive line that is physically beating teams up. And I guess, for us, that's the formula to beat the Patriots on Sunday. You
Absolutely.
agree?
Yeah. And, look, we're going to talk about it all week long. I'm sure you are too. But, pressure on the quarterback. Well, look, nobody's done a better job getting pressure on the quarterback than Philly. How? Why are they doing that? Well, they're doing a great job pushing the pocket on the inside, obviously with Fletcher Cox and Timmy Jernigan. What a great pickup he's been. But when you get edge pressure as well, there's nowhere to go. So I think one of the things that they've done a great job, they've got more than 2 or 3 guys. Being able to rotate guys, when you bring in Chris Long and now you can move Brandon Graham down inside, that's kind of like what we did with Justin Tuck early on in Super Bowl 42. Put him inside. Now you put a kind of a quick twitch guy on a guard. Guards aren't used to that. They're used to blocking the big 300-pound D lineman. So that's a change-up. And I think, Philly's done such a great job of the pressures and the forced fumbles. 15 forced fumbles by this team, 4 of them by Chris Long. Chris Long, to me, is kind of the X factor, and he's going up against his former team, which everybody says, oh, that's great. But how about this? Cam Fleming, guess who he probably went up against in practice every day last year?
Exactly.
Cam Fleming, because he was the backup, so that's who Chris was going up against. So if Adrian Waddle's able to play, I know he's got a banged-up knee, but that's great familiarity. I think you've got to love that if you're Chris Long going against your former team. You mentioned the O-line. To me, the Eagles' rushing offense is not getting enough credit. Everybody's talking about the defense and how they stop. When you look at the rushing attack, they've been so explosive. They led the league this year in runs over 10 yards. I think they had 56 of them. And it's not just power football. It's different schemes. It's wham plays. They're pulling Lane Johnson. They're getting guys in space. I still think back to I think it was week 4 when they played the Chargers. You go out to L.A. They shut down Bosa and Ingram. All right, no sacks. And then with 6 minutes and 44 seconds, I think, they get the ball. And they don't give the ball back to Phillip. They close the game out. That's hard to do. That's how you beat Tom Brady. Don't let him have the ball with 6 minutes to go in the game. That's a win.
Jim Schwartz's scheme, you played against it, I imagine.
Yeah.
What makes it so successful?
Yeah, the penetration is obviously huge. Penetration will kill any run game, any run play, no matter what you do. So, you end up trying to run a lot of traps, try to let them get up the field and then crease them that way. But where that wide 9 technique, I know you guys have probably talked a lot about that. That puts so much stress on your tight ends. if your tight ends can't hold up against that wide nine, you're not running the football. And they teach them to attack the running back through the tight end. So they're basically pressing the tight end into the backfield. That constricts the running lane. So it makes it really hard to run the football to the tight end side. That's why it's a great matchup, because the Patriots, their tight ends, they do a great job blocking. Obviously, Gronk, everybody talks about him as a blocker. He's really good. But the other tight end that nobody talks about is Dwayne Allen, right? They picked him up this offseason. I think they traded for him. He has been really good in the run game. Hasn't caught a lot of footballs, but they do a great job when they go to their 2 and 3 tight end formations of blocking those defensive ends.
Shaun, can the Eagles win this game on Sunday? And if so, how do they do it?
Yeah, they can. I think the run game obviously is going to be a big factor. You don't want to be in third and long, obviously, but their offensive line has been so athletic this year. Lane Johnson, one of the best tackles in the game. They've survived Jason Peters going down. I think, obviously, Nick Foles got to play a clean game. You can't give the Patriots anything. It's so hard to win against them if you give up any turnovers. But I like what Foles has done. I think his play action ability. He's done a great job with the slants. He's done a great job with the receivers and with Nelson Aguilar. To me, the key is in the red zone. He missed Zach Ertz twice in the red zone against the Raiders. Zach Ertz got 8 touchdowns this year, 7 of them with Wentz, only 1 with Foles. They've got to find a way. They were the number 1 ranked red zone offense. Got to find a way to score touchdowns. They can't kick field goals and beat the Patriots.
Last one for you, Shaun. Amazing that in the NFC East, no repeat winner since the Eagles of 2003, 2004. Why is this division so topsy-turvy?
I think for a number of reasons. Obviously, the markets make it competitive. They're probably some of the most passionate fan bases. But take the Giants out of this equation, some of the best offensive linemen in the league are in the NFC East.
Yeah.
Think about the tackles. It's Lane Johnson, it's Trent Williams, it's Jason Peters, it's Tyron Smith. The Cowboys last year were probably the best O-line in the league with Travis Frederick, Zach Martin. Now the Eagles have taken over that title. Brandon Brooks has been phenomenal, Kelsey. So you look at the offensive lines with Washington and Brandon Sheriff, Morgan Moses at right tackle. The O-lines have really done a great job. That's where you win. And then when you look at the pass rushers, nobody wants to play the NFC East. Look who you're battling every single week. It's so good. I know everybody focuses on the quarterbacks, and they get enough praise, rightfully so. But the NFC East is so tough, and I think that's why a lot of teams struggle playing them.
Shaun O'Hara, it's all about the trenches. Shaun O'Hara, NFL Network analyst, 8.5 hours of coverage on Super Bowl Sunday. Tune in to the NFL Network. We thank you very much. And follow Shaun on Twitter at Shaun O'Hara 60 from Radio Row. Thanks for joining us.